The unexpected encounter. The vast emptiness of space stretched out before Zara Novak as she guided her small exploration vessel through the asteroid belt of the Epsilon Eridani system. Her mission was simple: survey the outermost planet of the system for potential colonization. But as she learned over her years as a deep space scout, nothing in the cosmos was ever truly simple. Zara's ship, the Stargazer, was a compact marvel of human engineering. Barely larger than an Earth truck, it was designed for extended solo missions, equipped with the latest in AI assistance and self-sustaining life support systems. As she navigated through the debris field, her eyes flickered between the holographic display and the reinforced view screen, searching for any anomalies. Approaching Epsilon Eridani, the ship's AI, announced in its calm, modulated voice, initiating atmospheric entry sequence. Zara nodded, her fingers dancing over the controls. Acknowledged, ARIA. Let's see what secrets this ice ball is hiding. The planet loomed before her, a swirling mass of blues and whites. As the Stargazer pierced the upper atmosphere, the ship shuddered, and Zara gripped her seat. Despite countless entries on dozens of worlds, this moment always sent a thrill of excitement and fear through her. Anomalous energy signature detected, ARIA suddenly reported. Origin. Surface. Coordinates uploading to your nav system. Zara's eyebrows shot up. Energy signature. On an uninhabited planet. That's unexpected. ARIA, adjust our landing trajectory. Let's check it out. As the Stargazer descended through layers of clouds, Zora's mind raced with possibilities. Could it be a natural phenomenon? Or perhaps, no, she wouldn't let herself hope. The chances of finding extraterrestrial life, especially intelligent life, were astronomically low. The clouds parted, revealing a landscape of ice and rock. Jagged mountains pierced the sky, their peaks shrouded in mist. In the valleys between, Zora could make out dark patches that might have been liquid seas or forests of some alien vegetation. Energy signature intensifying, ARIA reported. Caution advised. Zara guided the ship towards a relatively flat area near the source of the signal. As she approached, she noticed a strange shimmer in the air, like heat waves rising from hot asphalt. But this planet was far too cold for such an effect. With a soft thud, the Stargazer touched down on the icy surface. Zara quickly ran through the post-landing checklist, her heart pounding with anticipation. Once she confirmed that the external environment was safe, or at least not immediately lethal, she donned her exosuit. ARIA, maintain ship systems and keep comms open. I'm going out there. The airlock hissed as it cycled, and Zara stepped out onto the alien world. The gravity was slightly less than Earth normal, giving her steps a subtle bounce. She activated her suit's sensors, scanning for the source of the energy signature. As she crested a small ridge, Zora froze. In the valley below, half buried in the ice, was something. It was massive, easily the size of her ship, with a sleek, organic shape that defied easy classification. Its surface seemed to shift and pulse with an inner light. ARIA, Zara whispered, her voice trembling. Are you seeing this? Affirmative. The AI responded. Object appears to be of non-terrestrial origin. Caution is advised. Zara approached slowly, her suit's sensors working overtime to analyze the strange entity. As she drew closer, she realized that the pulsing wasn't just light. The entire structure was moving, almost like it was breathing. Suddenly, a section of the object's surface rippled and parted, revealing what could only be described as an eye. It was enormous, easily the size of Zora's torso, with a swirling, iridescent iris that seemed to contain galaxies. The eye focused on Zora, and she felt a presence brush against her mind. It wasn't words, exactly, but a flood of sensations and images. Pain, fear, desperation, and underneath it all, a plea for help. Zara stumbled back, overwhelmed by the alien contact. But as the connection faded, she was left with an unshakable certainty. This creature, whatever it was injured. And it was pregnant. "Araya," Zara said, her voice steadier now, filled with determination. "We're going to need to adjust our mission parameters. Looks like we've got a rescue operation on our hands." As if in response to her words, the alien creature let out a low, keening sound that resonated through the icy landscape. Zara felt it in her bones, a cry that transcended species barriers. It was the universal sound of a being in distress, and it stirred something deep within her. She approached the creature again, this time with purpose. "It's okay," she said, knowing her words wouldn't be understood, but hoping her tone would convey her intent. "I'm here to help." The massive eye blinked slowly, and Zara felt another wave of sensation wash over her. This time, there was a glimmer of hope mixed with the pain and fear. "Araya, I need you to scan this being. Give me everything you can. Biology, vital signs, anything that might help us understand what we're dealing with." As the AI began its analysis, Zara circled the creature, looking for any obvious signs of injury. Its body was partially embedded in the ice, and she could see places where the crystalline surface had melted and refrozen, trapping the alien further. "Preliminary scan complete," Araya announced. "Entity appears to be a silicon-based life form, unlike any recorded in our databases. Internal temperature is significantly higher than the surrounding environment, suggesting it is not native to this planet. Detection of multiple distinct biosignatures within the entity confirms your assessment of pregnancy." Zara nodded, her mind racing. A silicon-based life form. That was the stuff of theoretical xenobiology, never before encountered in real life. And yet, here it was, alive, and in need of her help. "What about injuries?" she asked. "There appears to be damage to the outer membrane in several locations," Araya replied. "The ice is preventing full regeneration. Additionally, the entity's energy reserves are dangerously low." Zara bit her lip, considering her options. She couldn't leave this being here to die, but she also couldn't possibly transport something of this size in her small ship. She would have to find a way to help it here, on this frozen world. "Okay," she said, more to herself than to Araya. "First things first, we need to get it out of this ice." She returned to the Stargazer and retrieved her emergency kit, which included a portable plasma cutter. It wasn't designed for this kind of work, but it was the best tool she had. As Zara began carefully cutting away the ice around the alien's body, she felt the creature's eye upon her. There was an intensity to its gaze that made her skin prickle, even through her exosuit. She had the distinct impression that it was not just watching her actions, but reading her intentions. Hours passed as Zara worked tirelessly to free the alien from its icy prison. The planet's sun, a distant red dwarf, barely seemed to move in the sky. As the last of the restraining ice fell away, the creature's body shuddered, and it let out another keening cry. Zara stepped back, her heart racing. "Araya, what's happening?" "The entity's internal temperature is rising rapidly," the AI reported. "Biosignatures of the offspring are intensifying. It appears that the birthing process may be imminent." Zara's eyes widened. She was about to witness the birth of an alien species, something no human had ever seen before. But more than that, she realized that these newborns would be entering a harsh, frozen world. They would need protection, warmth. They would need her. As if sensing her thoughts, the alien's massive eye focused on her once more. This time, the mental connection was clearer, more deliberate. Zara gasped as understanding flooded her mind. The creature was entrusting its offspring to her care. "I'll do my best," Zara promised, her voice choked with emotion. "I'll protect them." The alien's body convulsed, and a bright light began to emanate from within. Zara shielded her eyes, her heart pounding as she realized that she was about to become the guardian of something utterly unknown. In that moment, on that distant, icy world, Zara Novik's life changed forever. She had come seeking a new world for humanity, but instead, she had found a new family among the stars. A leap of faith. The alien's body pulsed with an otherworldly light, casting long shadows across the icy landscape. Zara stood transfixed, her heart racing as she witnessed something no human had ever seen before. The birth of an alien species was about to unfold before her eyes. "Arai," Zara called out, her voice tight with anticipation. "Are you recording this?" "Affirmative," the AI responded. "All sensory data is being captured and stored." The alien's massive form shuddered, and a sound like crystalline chimes filled the air. Zara watched in awe as a section of the creature's iridescent surface began to ripple and part. A small, glowing object emerged, no larger than Zora's helmet. "Oh my God," Zora breathed, taking a cautious step forward. It's beautiful." The newborn alien hatchling was unlike anything Zora had ever seen. Its body seemed to be composed of living crystal, with facets that caught and reflected light in mesmerizing patterns. As it fully emerged from its parent, it unfurled delicate, translucent wings that shimmered with an inner light. Before Zara could fully process what she was seeing, a second hatchling emerged, followed quickly by a third. The air around them seemed to vibrate with energy, and Zara felt a tingling sensation even through her exosuit. "Arai, what am I looking at here?" Zara asked, her scientific curiosity overcoming her initial awe. Analysis indicates the hatchlings are composed primarily of crystalline silicon structures, interwoven with complex organic compounds, Araya reported. They appear to be generating their own bioelectromagnetic field. Caution is advised. Prolonged exposure may interfere with suit systems. As if on cue, Zora's heads-up display flickered. She took a step back, torn between the need for caution and her desire to observe more closely. The parent alien's eye focused on Zora once more, and she felt another wave of mental communication. This time, the message was clear: protect them. With a final, resonant tone that seemed to shake the very ground, the massive alien's light began to fade. Its eye closed slowly, and its body settled into the icy ground. "Araya," Zora said, her voice barely above a whisper. "What's happening to the parent?" There was a pause before the AI responded, its tone as close to somber as an artificial intelligence could manage. "Life signs are fading rapidly. It appears the birthing process has depleted its remaining energy reserves." Zara felt a lump form in her throat. She had known, intellectually, that this might happen. Many species on Earth poured all their energy into reproduction, sometimes at the cost of their own lives. But to see it happen on this scale, with a being of such incredible complexity and intelligence, was heartbreaking. "Thank you," Zara said softly to the dying alien. "I promise I'll take care of them." As if in response to her words, the three hatchlings turned towards her. Their bodies pulsed with light, and Zara felt a gentle probe against her mind. Unlike the complex, overwhelming communication from the parent, this was simpler. Curiosity, need, and something else: recognition. "Oh," Zora breathed, realization dawning. "They've imprinted on me. Araya, they think I'm their guardian." That would appear to be the case, Araya confirmed. "The hatchlings' biosignatures are aligning with your own. They seem to be attuning to your electromagnetic field." Zara's mind raced. She had come to this planet to assess its suitability for human colonization, not to become the adoptive parent of alien life forms. But as she looked at the three delicate creatures before her, she knew she couldn't abandon them. "Okay," she said, steeling herself. "Araya, we need to figure out how to keep these little ones alive. What do they need? Food? Warmth?" Preliminary analysis suggests they derive energy primarily from electromagnetic radiation, Araya replied. "The planet's magnetosphere and solar wind may provide sufficient nourishment. However, the low ambient temperature could be problematic." Zara nodded, her training kicking in as she formulated a plan. "Right. We need to get them to the ship. But how? She approached the hatchlings slowly, holding out her hands. To her amazement, the creatures fluttered towards her, their wings creating a soft humming sound. They landed on her outstretched arms, their crystalline bodies cool to the touch even through her suit. Well, that's convenient, Zora chuckled, relief washing over her. Araya, prep the ship. We're going to need to convert the cargo hold into a nursery. As Zara made her way back to the Stargazer, the hatchlings clinging to her, she couldn't help but marvel at the turn her mission had taken. She had come seeking new worlds and had found new life instead. The magnitude of her discovery and her responsibility was overwhelming. Back in the ship, Zora quickly set about creating a suitable environment for her new charges. She cleared out the cargo hold and rigged up an electromagnetic field generator, hoping it would provide the nourishment the creatures needed. Araya, keep monitoring their vital signs, Zara instructed as she watched the hatchlings explore their new home. Let me know if anything changes. For hours, Zara observed the alien offspring, meticulously recording their behaviors and physical characteristics. They seemed to thrive in the electromagnetic field she had created, their bodies pulsing with ever brighter light. Zara gently stroked Nova's crystalline surface with her thumb, marveling at the bond that was forming between them. She had always believed in the possibility of extraterrestrial life, but never in her wildest dreams had she imagined forming an emotional connection with alien beings. Spark and Lumina, noticing the interaction between Zara and Nova, fluttered over to join them. Soon, Zara found herself surrounded by the three hatchlings, their bodies creating a dazzling light show as they communicated with each other and with her. You know, Zara said, addressing both the hatchlings and Ara, we can't keep drifting aimlessly forever. We need to find a safe haven, somewhere these little ones can grow and thrive without fear of discovery. Araya's response was immediate. I have been analyzing potential destinations based on our limited star charts of unexplored regions. There is a promising system approximately 2.7 light-years from our current position. It contains a planet with a strong magnetosphere and no signs of advanced civilization. Zara considered this for a moment. Sounds like it's worth checking out. Set a course, Ara, but approach with caution. We can't afford to take any unnecessary risks. As the Stargazer altered its course, Zara felt a mix of excitement and apprehension. The unknown planet could be the sanctuary they needed, but it could also harbor unforeseen dangers. She looked at the three beings in her care, their bodies shimmering with potential, and knew that every decision she made would shape their future. Over the next few days, as they approached the new system, Zara noticed a change in the hatchlings' behavior. They seemed more focused, more purposeful in their movements. Often, she would find them clustered together, their bodies pulsing in synchronization as if engaged in some form of silent communication. Araya, Zara asked one night as she prepared for sleep, what do you make of their behavior? They seem different. The eye was silent for a moment, processing. Based on observed patterns, it appears the entities are engaging in information exchange. It is possible they are sharing knowledge or experiences with each other. Zara pondered this as she drifted off to sleep. What kind of knowledge could beings so young possess? What secrets of the universe were encoded in their crystalline structures? Her dreams that night were vivid and strange. She saw vast cosmic vistas, felt the pull of distant stars, and heard a song that seemed to resonate with the very fabric of space-time. When she awoke, gasping and disoriented, she found the three hatchlings hovering around her, their bodies glowing brightly. Did you show me those things? Zara asked, her voice trembling slightly. The hatchlings pulsed in unison, and Zara felt a wave of affirmation wash over her. They had shared their perceptions with her, given her a glimpse into how they experienced the universe. Overwhelmed with emotion, Zara reached out to them. The aliens nestled against her, their cool crystalline bodies a stark contrast to her warm skin. In that moment, the last barriers between them seemed to fall away. They were no longer simply a human and three alien beings. They were a family, bonded by something deeper than blood or a species. HFY, Zara said, her voice thick with emotion. Log this in the ship's record. Today marks a new chapter in human-alien relations. We've achieved a level of communication and understanding I never thought possible. As the days passed and they drew closer to the unknown planet, Zara found herself marveling at how much her life had changed. She had left Earth as an explorer, seeking new worlds for humanity. Now she was the protector of a new species, possibly the key to reshaping humanity's understanding of the cosmos. The hatchlings continued to grow and develop at an astonishing rate. Their ability to manipulate electromagnetic fields increased, and Zara often found small objects in the ship floating or moving seemingly of their own accord. She watched with pride as they learned and experimented, their curiosity reminiscent of human children. One morning, as Zara was running routine maintenance checks, Aria's voice broke the comfortable silence. "We are approaching the outer edge of the target system. Preliminary scans confirm the presence of a planet with characteristics suitable for the hatchlings." Zara felt a surge of excitement and nervousness. "All right, Aria. Let's take this slow, full sensor sweep of the system. I want to know everything we can before we get any closer." As the stargazer cautiously entered the new star system, Zara gathered the hatchlings in the cockpit. They hovered around her, their bodies pulsing with anticipation. Whether they understood the significance of this moment or were simply reacting to Zara's emotions, she couldn't tell. As the planet's long day finally began to wane, Zara found herself faced with a dilemma. Her mission parameters were clear: survey the planet and return to base. But now she had three alien life forms in her care. Bringing them back to human-controlled space could put them in danger, but leaving them here on this inhospitable world was not an option. "Aria," Zara said, her voice heavy with the weight of her decision. "Set a course for deep space. We're going off the grid." "Acknowledged," the AI responded. "However, I must remind you that deviating from mission parameters—" "I know," Zara interrupted. "But this is bigger than our mission. These creatures, they're counting on me. We'll find a safe haven for them, somewhere beyond the reach of those who might want to exploit them." As the stargazer lifted off from the icy planet, leaving behind the massive form of the parent alien, Zara felt a mix of excitement and trepidation. She was venturing into the unknown, with three alien infants under her protection. The hatchlings, seeming to sense the movement of the ship, fluttered around the cargo hold excitedly. Their crystalline bodies cast prismatic patterns on the walls, turning the utilitarian space into something magical. Zara couldn't help but smile as she watched them. "Well, little ones," she said softly, "looks like we're in this together now. I don't know what's going to happen, but I promise you this: I'll do everything in my power to keep you safe." As the stargazer accelerated away from the Epsilon Eridani system, Zara felt a sense of purpose unlike anything she had experienced before. She was no longer just an explorer of new worlds. She had become a guardian of new life, a protector of a species unknown to humanity. The vastness of space stretched out before them, full of both promise and peril. Zara knew the path ahead would be challenging, but as she looked at the three shimmering creatures that were now her responsibility, she felt ready to face whatever the universe might throw at them. With a deep breath, Zara settled into the pilot's seat, her new family safe behind her. "Aria," she said, a note of determination in her voice. "Let's see what's out there." The stargazer's engines hummed as it accelerated to light speed, carrying its unique crew into the great unknown. Zara Novak, once a lone explorer, was now the guardian of a cosmic secret, embarking on the greatest adventure of her life. New bonds forged. Days blended into weeks as the stargazer drifted through the vast expanse of uncharted space. Zara Novak, once a solitary explorer, now found herself in the unexpected role of caretaker to three alien hatchlings. The small ship, designed for solo missions, had become a nurturing cocoon for this unconventional family. Zara stood in the doorway of the converted cargo hold, watching her charges with a mixture of wonder and concern. The crystalline beings fluttered about the space, their bodies pulsing with an inner light that seemed to grow stronger each day. She had taken to calling them Spark, Nova, and Lumina, names that reflected their luminous nature. Araya, Zora called out, her eyes never leaving the hatchlings. Give me an update on their development. The AI's voice filled the room, calm and precise. The entities you've designated Spark, Nova, and Lumina continue to show remarkable growth. Their energy signatures have increased by 27% since our departure from Epsilon Eridaniv. They appear to be thriving on the electromagnetic field we've generated. Zara nodded, a small smile playing on her lips. They're growing so fast. I swear they get bigger every time I look at them. As if sensing her thoughts, Nova drifted toward Zora, its delicate crystalline wings humming softly. It hovered before her face, and Zara felt the now familiar touch of its consciousness against her mind. The communication was becoming clearer with each passing day, less abstract and more focused. "Hello, little one," Zora said softly, reaching out a hand. Nova alighted on her palm, its cool surface sending a slight tingle through her skin. "What are you trying to tell me today?" The alien's body pulsed, and Zora was flooded with a series of images and sensations. She saw stars, felt the rush of solar wind, tasted something akin to electricity. But underlying it all was a sense of gratitude, affection. "Araya," Zora said, her voice filled with awe. "I think they're becoming more aware. Their communication is evolving." "Affirmative," the AI responded. "My sensors detect increasing complexity in the electromagnetic patterns they emit. It appears they are developing a more sophisticated form of consciousness. This could be our new home," she told them softly. "A place where you can grow and be safe." The main view screen flickered to life, showing a blue-green planet swirling with clouds. It looked startlingly like Earth, yet Zara knew it was alien in ways she couldn't begin to imagine. As they drew closer, the hatchlings became more agitated. They zipped back and forth across the cockpit, their bodies flashing with rapid pulses of light. Zara felt their excitement, their eagerness to explore this new world. "RIA, what are the atmospheric readings? Is it safe for them?" Zara asked, her protective instincts kicking in. "Atmosphere is primarily nitrogen and oxygen, similar to Earth," RIA reported. "No detectable toxins or pathogens. The magnetosphere is exceptionally strong, which should provide an ideal environment for the hatchlings." Zara let out a breath she hadn't realized she'd been holding. "Okay, little ones," she said to the excited aliens. "Looks like we might have found your new home. Now we just need to make sure it's safe." As the stargazer began its descent towards the planet's surface, Zara felt a profound sense of responsibility. She was about to introduce an alien species to a new world. The consequences of this action could reshape the future of two species, humanity and these remarkable crystalline beings. The ship broke through the cloud cover, revealing a landscape of purple vegetation and shimmering silver lakes. In the distance, jagged mountains rose towards the sky, their peaks wreathed in mist. It was beautiful, alien, and full of potential. Zara looked at her three charges, their bodies glowing with excitement and anticipation. "Well, my little star children," she said, a smile spreading across her face. "Welcome to your new world. Our greatest adventure is just beginning." As the stargazer touched down on the alien soil, Zara knew that her life would never be the same. She had become more than an explorer, more than a guardian. She was now a bridge between worlds, the key to a future where humans and aliens could coexist and learn from each other. With a deep breath, she prepared to open the ship's hatch and step out onto this new world. Whatever challenges lay ahead, she would face them with her unlikely family by her side. The universe, it seemed, had much more in store for Zara Novak and her crystalline children. Dangers from the stars. The alien sun hung low on the horizon, casting long shadows across the landscape of shimmering purple vegetation. Zara Novak stood at the entrance of the makeshift shelter she had constructed, her eyes scanning the unfamiliar terrain. It had been 3 months since they had landed on this strange new world, and each day brought fresh wonders and challenges. Spark, Nova, and Lumina zipped through the air around her, their crystalline bodies refracting the alien sunlight into dazzling patterns. They had grown significantly since their arrival, now roughly the size of Earth house cats. Their ability to manipulate electromagnetic fields had increased exponentially, and Zara often found herself in awe of their rapidly developing abilities. "AI." Zara called out to the AI unit she had salvaged from the Stargazer. "Run another perimeter scan." "Any signs of large predators?" "Negative." Aria's voice crackled through the portable comm unit. "No large life forms detected within a 5-kilometer radius. However, I am picking up some unusual electromagnetic disturbances in the upper atmosphere." Zara frowned, her hand instinctively moving to the makeshift spear at her side. Life on this new world had proven to be mostly peaceful, but she had learned to always be prepared for the unexpected. "What kind of disturbances?" she asked, her eyes turning skyward. Before Aria could respond, Spark suddenly froze in midair, its body pulsing rapidly with an intense blue light. The other two hatchlings quickly joined it, forming a triangular formation. Zara felt a wave of alarm wash over her through their shared mental link. "Little ones, what's wrong?" she asked, reaching out to them both physically and mentally. The response she received was a jumble of images and sensations. Dark shapes moving against the stars, a sense of impending danger, and a feeling of recognition. The hatchlings' agitation grew, their bodies now glowing so brightly that Zara had to shield her eyes. Suddenly, the sky lit up with a brilliant flash. Zara gasped as she saw what looked like a meteor streaking across the alien sky, leaving a trail of fire in its wake. But this was no natural phenomenon. The object's trajectory was too controlled, too purposeful. "Aria," Zara shouted, her heart racing. "What the hell is that?" "Unknown spacecraft detected," Aria replied, its usual calm tone tinged with urgency. "Design does not match any known human or theoretical alien configurations. It appears to be on a direct course for our location." Zara's mind raced. In all their time on this planet, they had seen no signs of advanced civilization or spacefaring capabilities. Whatever this craft was, it had come from beyond this world, and it was heading straight for them. The hatchlings crowded around Zara, their bodies trembling slightly. Through their mental link, she could sense their fear, but also a strange sense of anticipation. It was as if they had been both dreading and expecting this moment. "Okay, little ones," Zara said, trying to keep her voice steady. "We need to move. It's not safe here." But as she turned to gather their essential supplies, she felt a gentle but firm resistance. The hatchlings had formed a barrier around her, their wings beating in perfect synchronization. Through their bond, Zara received a clear message. "Stay. Face. Important." You know what this is, don't you?" Zara asked, realization dawning. Somehow, you knew they were coming. The aliens pulsed in affirmation, and Zara was flooded with a series of rapid-fire images, vast fleets of crystalline ships, worlds teeming with beings like her hatchlings, and a sense of an ancient, galaxy-spanning civilization. The force of the vision nearly brought her to her knees. "Aria," Zara said, her voice barely above a whisper. "I think we're about to make first contact with the hatchling species. Their parents, or whatever they call themselves, have found us." The A's response was drowned out by a deafening roar as the alien craft broke through the cloud cover. It was massive, easily 10 times the size of the Stargazer, with a design that seemed to defy the laws of physics as Zara understood them. The ship's surface was a shifting tapestry of crystalline structures, pulsing with the same inner light as the hatchlings. As the craft descended, Zara felt the hair on her arms stand on end. The air crackled with electromagnetic energy, and she could taste something metallic on her tongue. The hatchlings' glow intensified, their bodies resonating with the energy emanating from the ship. With a sound like 1,000 chiming bells, the alien craft touched down in the clearing before them. For a moment, everything was still. Then, a section of the ship's hull seemed to dissolve, revealing a group of beings that took Zora's breath away. They were like her hatchlings, but larger, much larger. The smallest was easily twice Zora's height, its crystalline body a complex lattice of geometric shapes that seemed to shift and flow. Their wings were enormous, spanning several meters and shimmering with all the colors of the spectrum. One of the beings, its body a deep sapphire blue, stepped forward. It regarded Zora with multifaceted eyes that seemed to peer into her very soul. Then, it turned its attention to the hatchlings. What happened next was beyond Zora's ability to fully comprehend. The air between the adult aliens and the hatchlings seemed to warp and shimmer, filled with pulses of light and waves of energy. It was communication on a level Zora could only begin to imagine. Vast amounts of information exchanged in mere seconds. Suddenly, Spark, Nova, and Lumina turned to Zora. Through their bond, she felt a torrent of emotions: gratitude, affection, sorrow, and a deep, abiding love. They were saying goodbye. "No," Zora whispered, tears filling her eyes. "No, you can't. I can't lose you." The sapphire being turned its attention back to Zora, and she felt the touch of an alien mind far more vast and complex than she had ever experienced. Images flashed through her consciousness: the hatchlings' journey from their home world, their parents' desperate act of sending them to safety as their civilization faced some unseen threat, and the cosmic coincidence that had brought Zora to that icy world at exactly the right moment. She saw herself through alien eyes, a savior, a protector, a being of unimaginable courage who had cared for young of a species not her own. And with that vision came an offer, a choice that would change the course of her life and potentially the future of humanity. The sapphire being extended a crystalline appendage towards Zora, an invitation clear in the gesture. The message in her mind was complex but unmistakable. Come with us. Learn. Grow. Be a bridge between our worlds. Zora looked at the hatchlings, her children in all but biology, and then back at the magnificent alien beings before her. Her heart raced as she considered the implications. To leave behind everything she had ever known, to venture into the depths of space with an advanced alien civilization. It was terrifying, exhilarating, and exactly the kind of leap she had always dreamed of making. With a deep breath, Zora stepped forward and placed her hand in the alien's crystalline appendage. The touch sent a jolt through her entire body, and she felt as if she was connecting to something vast and ancient and wonderfully, terrifyingly new. "Aye," Zora said, her voice steady despite the maelstrom of emotions inside her. "Initiate final protocol. Transmit all data we've gathered to Earth HQ. Let them know that we're not alone, and that the universe is more wonderful and strange than we ever imagined." As the alien ship prepared to depart, with Zora and her hatchlings aboard, she took one last look at the world that had been their temporary home. She thought of Earth, of the life she was leaving behind, and of the incredible journey that lay ahead. The ship rose silently into the alien sky, carrying with it the hope for a new chapter in the story of intelligent life in the universe. Zara Novak, once a lone explorer, now stood at the threshold of a cosmic adventure beyond her wildest dreams, with her adopted alien family by her side. As the planet receded from view, Zara felt a mix of sadness and boundless excitement. She had no idea what the future held, but she knew that her decision would change the course of history for both humanity and her new alien allies. Whatever challenges lay ahead, she would face them with courage, curiosity, and the unbreakable bond she shared with her crystalline children. The adventure, it seemed, was only just beginning. A new understanding. The vastness of deep space stretched out before Zara Novak as she stood at the observation deck of the crystalline alien vessel. Stars streaked by in rivers of light, a testament to the incomprehensible speed at which they traveled. It had been 6 months since she had made the decision to leave behind her old life and embark on this cosmic journey, yet each day brought new wonders that left her breathless. Spark, Nova, and Lumina hovered nearby, their bodies now almost as large as Zara herself. They had continued to grow and evolve at an astonishing rate, their abilities far surpassing anything Zara had imagined when she first encountered them as tiny hatchlings. Still hard to believe, isn't it? Zara mused aloud, knowing the aliens could sense her thoughts. Sometimes I wonder if this is all just a dream. The hatchlings pulsed in unison, sending waves of reassurance and affection through their mental link. Their communication had grown increasingly sophisticated, and Zara found herself understanding complex concepts that would have been impossible to convey through human language alone. A soft chime resonated through the ship, and Zara turned to see Azurite, the sapphire-hued alien who had become her primary teacher and guide, approaching. Like all the adult aliens, Azurite towered over Zara, its crystalline body a marvel of organic geometry. Zara. Azurite's mental voice resonated in her mind, a melody of thoughts and emotions. The Council wishes to speak with you. They have reached a decision regarding your proposal. Zara's heart raced. Weeks ago, she had presented an audacious idea to the alien leadership, a plan for open contact between their civilization and humanity. It was a controversial suggestion, one that had sparked intense debate among the crystalline beings. As they made their way to the council chamber, Zara reflected on how much she had learned in the past months. The aliens, who called themselves the Luminae, were part of a vast, ancient civilization that spanned multiple galaxies. They were not conquerors or colonizers, but guardians and cultivators of life throughout the cosmos. The Luminae had been watching Earth and other developing worlds for millennia, waiting for the right moment to make contact. The unexpected encounter with Zara and her protection of the hatchlings had accelerated their plans, opening up new possibilities for interaction between their species. The council chamber was a cathedral of light and crystal, with dozens of elder luminae arranged in a circular formation. At the center stood a holographic representation of the Milky Way galaxy, worlds teeming with life highlighted in a dazzling array of colors. Azurite guided Zara to the center of the chamber, and she felt the weight of countless alien gazes upon her. Despite her nervousness, she stood tall, emboldened by the presence of Spark, Nova, and Lumina at her side. The eldest of the Luminae, a being called Quartz, whose body shimmered with the light of 1,000 stars, addressed her directly. Zara Novak of Earth, its mental voice resonated with the wisdom of eons. We have deliberated long on your proposal. The introduction of our kind to your world is not a decision we take lightly. The potential for misunderstanding, for fear, for conflict, it is considerable. Zara nodded, her throat tight. I understand, honored Quartz. But I also believe that the potential for growth, for mutual understanding and advancement, far outweighs the risks. Humanity is ready to take its place in the galactic community. We may be young, we may make mistakes, but our capacity for love, for creativity, for pushing the boundaries of what's possible, these are things we can offer to the cosmic tapestry. Her words, backed by the earnestness of her emotions, rippled through the assembled luminae. Zara felt a swell of pride and affection from her hatchlings, their support unwavering. Quartz was silent for a long moment, its multifaceted eyes seeming to peer into the very depths of Zara's soul. Then, slowly, its body began to pulse with a soft, warm light. Your words carry the weight of truth, Zara Novak. Your actions in saving and nurturing the hatchlings have demonstrated the best qualities of your species. We have reached a consensus. The holographic galaxy at the center of the room zoomed in, focusing on a familiar blue-green planet, Earth. We will initiate open contact with humanity, Quartz announced. but not through grand ships appearing in your skies or broadcast to your world leaders. Instead, we will send you, Zara Novak, the bridge between our worlds, along with your hatchlings and a small delegation of Lumine. You will be our ambassadors, introducing our peoples gradually, fostering understanding and cooperation. Zara's eyes widened, a mix of excitement and trepidation washing over her. Me? But I'm just an explorer. I don't know anything about diplomacy or... Azurite's mental touch interrupted her doubts. You have already proven yourself to be an exceptional diplomat, Zara. Your compassion, your willingness to embrace the unknown. These are the qualities needed to bridge the gap between our species. The hatchlings crowded around Zara, their bodies pulsing with excitement and pride. Through their link, she felt their absolute confidence in her, their eagerness to explore the world of their adoptive mother. As the reality of the situation sank in, Zara felt a profound sense of purpose wash over her. She had left Earth as an explorer seeking new worlds, and now she would return as an ambassador of a cosmic civilization, with the power to reshape humanity's understanding of its place in the universe. I accept, Zara said, her voice strong and clear. I will do everything in my power to ensure that this contact ushers in a new era of peace and cooperation between our peoples. The council chamber erupted in a symphony of light and sound, the Lumine expressing their approval and hope for the future. As the excitement settled, Quartz approached Zara, extending a crystalline appendage. There is one more thing, Zara Novak, the ancient being communicated. Your time among us, your bond with the hatchlings, has changed you in ways you may not yet fully comprehend. The journey ahead will reveal new abilities, new understandings. You are no longer merely human, but something more, a true bridge between worlds. As if to emphasize Quartz's words, Zara felt a tingling sensation throughout her body. She gasped as she saw her skin shimmer with a faint iridescent glow, not unlike that of the Lumine. The children have shared more than just knowledge with you, Azurite explained gently. Your DNA has been subtly altered, allowing you to tap into the energy fields we manipulate. You are the first of your kind, a human with the potential to wield the powers of the Lumine. Zara stared at her hands in wonder, watching as small arcs of energy danced between her fingers. The implications were staggering, but instead of fear, she felt a sense of exhilaration. This gift would allow her to better understand both sides, to truly act as an intermediary between humanity and the Lumine. As the council session concluded and preparations for the Earth mission began, Zara found a quiet moment with her hatchlings. Spark, Nova, and Lumina encircled her, their bodies pulsing in sync with her own newly awakened energy. Well, my little ones, Zara said softly, a smile playing on her lips. Looks like we're going home, my old home and your new one. Are you ready for the greatest adventure of all? The hatchling's response was a burst of joy and anticipation that needed no translation. As Zara looked out at the star-filled expanse, Earth now a shimmering point of light in the distance, she felt a profound sense of hope. The journey ahead would not be easy. There would be challenges, misunderstandings, and obstacles to overcome. But Zara Novak was no longer the same person who had left Earth all those months ago. She was now a guardian of cosmic secrets, a bridge between species, and the key to a future where humanity would take its first steps into a larger, more wondrous universe. As the Lumine ship plotted its course for Earth, Zara closed her eyes and made a silent promise to her hatchlings, to her human kin, and to the vast, beautiful cosmos that had brought them all together. Whatever the future held, they would face it united, bound by understanding, compassion, and the unbreakable bonds of an unlikely but profound love. The next chapter in the story of humanity, and of life itself, was about to begin.